Hi, welcome to the channel. Tonight, oh yeah, and by the way, today is September 22nd, 2025. It is the first day of autumn. So, as we can see, stop sign. So when you ride your bike, do you stop at stop signs? I mean like a complete full stop? Or do you sometimes look either direction, both ways, whatever be it, just yield and continue to go? So that is a question tonight. And if you do ride your bike, what kind of bike do you have? And what pedal assist do you like riding in? Are you just a throttle kind of guy? Or do you like to pedal as well? I prefer to do both. So if you haven't subscribed, and if you like this kind of content, please hit the thumbs up. Machine back there working. And hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'd like to know what kind of bike you have. Do you ride every day? Do you ride just on the weekends? I ride just about every chance I can get. So now that cooler weather is moving in, I guess I better take advantage of it. We all better take advantage of it while we can. So in the comments, if you would like to leave me a comment, please do, and I will answer your question. A lot of traffic tonight on the main roads. So I am currently on my Ridstar, the Q20, and I'm gonna do a full review on my eBikeO M5. I think it's called the M5. It's not the EB7 Pro. I believe this bike is even better. I don't know about all you guys that ride your bikes. Didn't summer go fast? Summer went really fast. Oh yeah, and the other question was, when you do ride your bike, how far do you go? And on the average of how many miles do you usually put on your bike? Pretty much me on the average, in one night, a work day, at night I'll roughly put between maybe 8 to 10 miles, just so I can say I got out there and went for a ride. Stop sign. Now in a situation like this, where there's barely any traffic, I occasionally do a roll through. But in a high traffic area, I advise everyone to stop at a stop sign. Not only for your safety, but also not just even the safety of others, just to avoid an accident. We all know when you're on a bike, whether it's a motorcycle, a moped, an electric bike, there is no such thing as falling. There is no such thing as an accident. That accident may be your last. So it's okay to be cautious, but don't be overly cautious. Seems like we got a focus here or something. Why did my camera go blurry? That was weird. There we go. There, it's better. I've been recording the whole time. Now you see how I waited at the stop sign? The guy across the street in the pickup, he almost ran right out in front of that car. People are just so stupid on the roads. They don't pay attention. That guy left his lights on in his car. Yeah, definitely some fall air. I'll tell you what, they couldn't have planned fall any better. Today was like, I got up this morning at 5 a.m. and it was kind of warm. And as the day progressed, it got really cloudy and just like some cool air moved in, like an autumn day. So they couldn't have planned the 22nd for the first day of fall any perfectly. So we're gonna have a lot of nice rides coming up with the fall foliage. Make it right here. So on an average, how far do you go when you go for your bike ride? And do you charge your bike every night after you go for a ride? Now, I normally will always top my battery off, but I will occasionally do it the next day. I will wait for the cells to settle down. I will wait for the voltage to come back up, and then I will top it off on a full charge if I go far. I believe it'll make the battery last a lot longer. So I've had this Ridstar, let's see, since 2023 when they first came out. So I had this bike for a little bit. I think this will be the second year. And I've put I've put 2,262 miles. Yeah, 2,262 miles. And I have had absolutely not one problem with this bike. It's been very, very reliable. And I ride it pretty much every day. There are days where I'll miss because I work a lot. We all need some rest. So my question tonight is, do you stop at stop signs? What kind of bike do you have? How far do you go? And how many minutes or miles do you ride every night? This bike is so smooth. I still have the front stock forks, which very rarely I'll jump it, but they will bottom out. But if you're just doing street riding, because that's pretty much all I do with all my bikes, except for that new 52 volt dual motor bike, I'd like to take that out on some trails. That's what it's made for. I've had that bike up to 44 miles an hour. That was yesterday. I did a video on that yesterday on my channel, but I got a little better setup so I can do some better video quality. I just finished it last night. So even though I'm just recording from my phone, it actually does a pretty decent job. We're gonna pull in the parking lot here. We're gonna get a glimpse of the bike. Show you what I'm riding tonight. Hand out of the way. So that's the Ridstar Q20. Everything on it is stock. Came with 180 millimeter rotors, and I mean they're thick. There's some pretty thick rotors. They're K-Tep brakes, hydraulic. Now, they're really hard to find because they're double pin, and Amazon doesn't carry them. And it's a 48 volt, 20 inch fat tire electric bike. I've upgraded the pedals. You can find those on Amazon. And I'll tell you what, that D&M air shock, what a world of a difference. Nice, smooth, cushioned ride. And I've added some extra lights. The rear, just for extra visibility. And of course, it's a working brake light when you hit the brake. Pretty neat. And I've got the front light on tonight, just so I'm visible. And yeah, we are 2,262 miles. And I've added an extra switch right here. And that works those little side lights on the side. I put some red ones. There were a set of 8 for $11 on Amazon. And how can you beat that? $11 for 8 lights. That's pretty neat. So, you know, I did a few upgrades on this. Oh yeah, and I put the 1132 or 34 tooth 7-speed gearing ratio on the rear wheel. And depending on which one you buy, I mean, they range from $27. I've already seen some of those, what are they, 10-speed? I believe, yeah, they're like a 10-speed. I've already seen them for over $100 a piece. But they're built for mid-drive. They're built for a mid-drive motor because they put out a lot of torque. They got to be built very well. I've already seen those things get chewed up as well as the chain. I'm trying to think of that one motor they just came out with. It's a mid-drive. It's 6,000 watts. I think it's CYC or CNC? CYC? You can turn a regular mountain bike into a motocross bike in a couple hours. CYC, I think it's called. It's 72 volts. You can buy the whole kit. You can buy the battery, the motor, the controller, all the wiring harness, everything comes together. I think it's quite expensive, but it's well worth it. I mean, you can put that on this, on a Ridstar. What's cool about this Ridstar, it has a metal frame. If you got a good frame, you can build anything. Let's kick it up a notch. got up to top speed by about 32 miles an hour. 25 miles an hour up a 15-degree hill. That's gotta be at least 15, 20-degree incline. And I cooked right up that baby. Now I took my dual motor bike up that hill. I call it Orchard Hill. I took my bike up Orchard Hill yesterday in dual motor, 38 miles an hour. So that dual motor bike that I had purchased last week, that would be my 6th electric bike. That bike, when I got it, and it still does right now, it scares the crap out of me. I mean, if you put it in pedal assist 4, it tops out at 28, like any normal electric bike. But when you put it in 5 and you hit that dual motor, you're opening up a beast. That thing is just a handful, and you better have both hands. We'll let this car pass. Yeah, you better have both hands on your handlebars, especially if you're gonna approach speeds of 40 miles an hour plus. That bike is no joke. And I love how, like, I'll run into a lot of younger folks. Oh, I want to get a Sur-Ron. And you're talking about kids that have no experience. You know, there's a lot of older gentlemen out there just as well as I am. These kids have no experience, and that's why there's just so many accidents. They're running stop signs, they're doing wheelies, you know, and then they get in these groups and they get out of control. It's just not cool. But they're, you know, we were all kids once. So, you know, if you are a less experienced rider, don't just jump into a Sur-Ron. Get yourself something like, you know, like a Ridstar or a nice little 1,000 or 1,500 watt electric bike. Get the taste and the feel of what it's like to actually ride a bike at 33 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour, even 28. 28 miles an hour on a bicycle is pretty fast. I don't care what anybody says. If you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour on a bike and you hit something and you fall and you land the wrong way, well, guess what? It's gonna hurt. 28 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour falling off a bike. it's gonna hurt. So what I'm saying is there is no subjection of falling. Safety, because as you noticed, I do not wear a helmet. When I'm just sometimes cruising around, just a normal ride. But with that other bike I just purchased, that bike is no joke. You have to wear a helmet. I don't care how good you are, how many years you've been riding, accidents happen. Yesterday, when I was out on my new bike, all of a sudden I went to make a turn and it was in dual motor, and I'm used to dual motor bikes. So it has, a gradual start, but when you hit the throttle the second time, it's not gradual. That wheel started spinning and I almost fell right on the pavement. So you see what I'm saying? When you ride a dual motor bike, it's a different beast. You are tending with two wheels that are giving you power. So you have to be very cautious. So that bike that I just got, peak power is just a little over 5,000 watts. Without even trying, I've had that bike up to 44 miles an hour yesterday. Without trying. That wasn't even flat out. I even got the amperage turned down on the controller. The controller amperage goes all the way up to 52 amps. I only set it at 30. I set the amp draw on that controller for 30 amps. And it's still getting over 40 miles an hour. So I'm going to do a full review of that bike this weekend. So this weekend coming, I'll do a full review and a full video on everything about that bike. I don't know what that car was doing. Haven't used this bike in about a week. So I just got it. Actually, no, I didn't just get it. I just used it today after a week because I just had gotten my new one and I was enjoying that one all week. Actually, the weekend. I want to thank everyone for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you would like to subscribe, please subscribe. And if you like it, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. And everyone, be safe. Have a good evening. Till next time.